Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooke if you're new here, and if you're not new here, you already know me. Today I'm going to be talking about my new work in progress. So I've talked about it in vlogs, I've talked about it on live streams, but I haven't really talked about it in a video, and that's what I'm going to do today. I was looking around before I filmed this video trying to find a work in progress tag on YouTube. It seems like there was one a few years ago, but there isn't really one now, so I'm just going to kind of tell you guys about it in whatever way I see fit. This is probably not going to be a super long video, but it's going to be packed with information, so take a seat. So I started my new work in progress at the end of August. I started plotting. I was not a plotter previously. I definitely pantsed my last novel. My last novel ended up being not great. It was terrible to edit. I was trying to edit it and I was like, okay, I can't do this again. So I decided that I was going to plot this novel, this new one. So I bought Save the Cat and I plotted. And I think that's pretty much the entire reason why this project has been going as well as it has. I'll tell you a little bit about it to start off. So the working title of my project is Project NA because it is a new adult romance novel, so Project New Adult. I'm also just kind of calling it like college romance, so that's a really exciting title. The idea, so I've been wanting to write a college romance for a lot of years, but I couldn't figure out where the book fit in. I was like, well, it's not YA, it's not really adult, and I didn't want to, it could be YA, I guess, but I didn't want to write it as YA. I have nothing against YA, I love reading YA, but I don't know if writing YA is my strong suit, not in romance anyways. So then I just forgot about it. And later I started looking at the new adult genre and I was like, hey, this is probably where my book fits in. The only downside to NA is that it's not really a genre that's recognized in like bookstores. So if you're trying to traditionally publish, in my opinion, I think it would be really hard. I don't know anything though, so don't listen to me. But that's what I've heard. So in my research, that is what I read, that it would probably likely have to be self-published, but that's kind of a whole different story. I think that this book was really born from my desire to change, and just sometimes, life gets a little monotonous and you just want change. You just crave some kind of huge change. And the day that I came up with this idea was one of those days that I was just kind of bored and I was like, nah, I really need something exciting. So this idea, the first couple weeks that I was working on the story outline, I was just so obsessed. Like I would just think about it 24/7. I couldn't sleep without thinking about it. I would wake up in the morning and just immediately like run into the office and just start writing. And I would be in the shower and I would have an idea and I'd have to take my phone and do like a voice recording, and you can literally like hear the shower going in the background. It's hilarious. So it was really just, I was just obsessed with it, and I still am. I'm a little bit less obsessed. We've passed the honeymoon phase and I'm not in a love-hate relationship with it yet, but I'm getting there. But I mostly just love it. So the book is currently first person present. I'm gonna write the entire novel in first person present, the first draft, and then we're gonna kind of see where it goes from there. I might end up changing it up just because I'm not 100% sure if this is how I want to write it, but I'm definitely gonna write the first draft in the same point of view and tense. I'm thinking of having multiple points of view. A lot of romance novels have 2 points of view, so they'll have a point of view from each of the like love interests. So they'll have one from like the main character, which is typically the ones that I read as female, and then they'll have a second point of view from the male love interest, depending on what you're writing and reading. So there are scenes in the book. There's one specifically that I think would be great from his point of view. So I think that instead of doing like a really big portion of the book in his point of view, I think that I'm gonna do specific pieces and it's gonna be kind of a surprise when he comes in. So I'm planning to finish this book by the end of October, which would put me in a position to edit for Nano, just like I did for Camp, which went horrendously. I don't want to edit during Nano, so I'm going to finish this manuscript by the end of October, and then I'm going to put it aside to rest for the month of November, and then I'm going to start a new project for Nano. That means that I'm going to be drafting this project in October, was save the cat while I'm trying to finish this other manuscript, which I'm going to talk about in my October goal setting video, which isn't out yet. So I kind of have a lot going on, but I'm at 26, almost 27,000 words in this manuscript. My goal for the month was 30K, which I'm going to hit. Next month will be another 30K goal. I think that when this is done, it's probably going to be closer to 70K or 75K than the 60 that I've set out for, but that's fine. Even if I don't finish this novel in October, it's going to be close and I'm still going to put it away. I will be starting a brand new project during Nano. I have no idea what it is yet, but you guys will be the first to know after me. This will be the fastest I've ever completed a manuscript, and it just blows me away when I think about it, because like 2 months would be so crazy. And I know people complete them in, you know, shorter times than that, but I do not. Now that you guys have listened to me ramble about this work in progress for a little bit, I'm going to tell you kind of what it's about. So our main character's name is Danielle Owens. Everybody calls her Danny, and the love interest name is Connor Hunt. So our main character, Danny, she moves provinces, because this is set in Canada. That's where I'm from. So she moves provinces and she's going to school in Toronto. She's going to U of T. She leaves her province. I don't know where she's from. I think I said Saskatchewan. So she leaves Saskatchewan and she leaves for a very good reason. Something happened and she wants to get away from her family and doesn't want to see them because she's super angry with them for good reason. It's not just like a rebellious teenage thing, like she's actually has ground. So she gets to Toronto, doesn't know anybody, and some stuff happens and she ends up pretty much completely on her own, which she knew she was going to be, but she had kind of a backup that fell through and things are kind of a mess. And I don't want to give too much of the plot away, but we all know how romance novels go, so, you know, girl meets boy, and there's obviously some challenges in there, but there's a couple subplots in here that I really love. I need to develop Connor's story a little bit more. He's a very interesting character and he's not the typical love interest. I find in a lot of romance novels, the love interest isn't a nice guy sometimes, and he's not a nice guy overall, but he's nicer to the main character. But what I love about this main character is, like, I've just made him like a really nice guy, and he doesn't really have that image portrayed to the public because of things. So people don't really see him as that. Nobody really knows that except for people who are close to him, and not just the main character. Like, he's nice to anyone who knows him, but people who don't know anything about him, they only know what they've heard, which sometimes aren't great things. So, but he is genuinely a nice person. So that's something that I had a lot of fun with. I had a lot of fun with writing like the nice guy. It's been a really cool experience. So I really hope you enjoyed my ramble about my work in progress. I really hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, and if you're curious, drop some questions down below. Certainly tell me about your work in progress down below. I love hearing about people's works in progress. It's just great. And I will be doing some videos for October. I'll be doing some Preptober videos. So there's going to be one kind of outlining my goals for it, which I think is really important. The goal setting has really been helping me. So I would encourage, if you're a goal-oriented person, I would encourage you to start doing monthly goal settings, or at least like quarterly, because it's very, very helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up because we love that, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.